everyone. Welcome to Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. This week, we have some really incredible opportunities for our transitioning service members, veterans, and military spouses, including some fully remote SkillBridge internships, as well as fully remote direct hire roles as well. So this is really exciting for us to be able to share them with you. While we get started here, if you're a transitioning service member, a veteran, or military spouse, please tag yourself in the comments. Our team would love to connect with you. After every single live broadcast, we go back through the comments and try to connect on LinkedIn and just read through those comments and find out who you are and learn a little bit more about you. So while everyone is introducing themselves in the chats, I'd love to take a few moments for our recruiting team to introduce themselves as well. So I will go first. My name is Kate Wood. I'm a recruiter here at HireMilitary. I'm an Army veteran and a military spouse, and we are currently stationed at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. However, I'm currently in Savannah, Georgia, as we do some of our traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. So if you're Fort Stewart, Harning Army Airfield, I'm in your neck of the woods. So hope that we have some people tuning in from that area as well. Next up, Lucy Robinson. We'd love to hear a little bit more about you.
Hey guys, I'm Lucy Robinson. I'm another recruiter here at HireMilitary. Currently stationed in the interior of Alaska at Eielson Air Force Base, which is next to Fort Wainwright. And unlike you, I'm not traveling anywhere exciting for Thanksgiving. We are literally driving 6 hours down the road to Anchorage, so near to J-Bear. So we'll be down there this weekend.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Lucy. Appreciate it. And Amber Flores, love to hear a little bit more about you. And you are in a different location this week as well.
I am, Kate. Yeah, I am Amber Flores. We are stationed in San Antonio, but I'm currently in the Texas Panhandle, and I doubt there's anybody here. There's a whole bunch of cows. There's a bunch of cow fields, but this is where I call home.
Oh, I just, obviously a great aspect of being able to work remotely. You can take your job with you as you travel with your family for the holidays. So that's great. And Brandy Walker, welcome. Love to have you introduce yourself as well.
Hey, so I'm Brandy. I'm one of the recruiters. I recruit for SkillBridge. So if you're looking for SkillBridge, I'm the person you talk to. So we are retired military at this point, military spouse. My husband retired about 2 years ago. For Thanksgiving, we're staying here, but my husband and I are taking off on Friday to go visit my in-laws. So like Lucy, I'm traveling a couple hours to go see them, but we're leaving the kids behind.
It's a good move sometimes, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Well, thanks so much, ladies, for being here today and for introducing yourselves. We see everyone introducing themselves in the chats. Jason, Nadia, Dixie, Philip, everyone, Paul, Kayla. So great to see everyone here. Love hearing more about where everyone is tuning in from, which is so exciting. And as always, while you are tuning in here and watching, we'd love to hear what types of roles that you are specifically looking for. We've been reviewing all of the feedback that everyone's been typing in the chats here over the last couple of weeks of Hot Jobs, and are using that information to understand how we can best serve you, our HireMilitary community, moving into 2022. So if there's a specific role, specific industries, locations, or even specific companies that you're interested in, please type those in the chats. We compile and save all of this information to help us to make decisions on what types of roles and companies to partner with going forward. So please share that as well. In addition, we really enjoyed sharing some recruiter tips and tricks on what to do and what not to do when applying for roles here at HireMilitary. So we've decided to make this a permanent portion of our weekly LinkedIn Lives. So following the SkillBridge and permanent vacancies that we share today, we'll be taking about the last 5 or so minutes to go over some more job search tips. So if you have a burning question or some kind of roadblock, I guess, that you've been coming up against in your job search process, please type that in the chat and we'll try to answer maybe 1 or 2 of your questions if we have time for it at the end. But also we're planning a LinkedIn Live event here in the near future that really solely focuses on job searching advice and answering any more of those questions. So really, if you have other questions that we aren't able to address today, please just still type those into the chats. We'd love to be able to add those onto that LinkedIn Live that we're specifically doing in relation to job searching, and hopefully answer all those questions in the future. So back on track now to what we're all here for today, which is Hot Jobs. But before we dive in, please know that there will be a link in the description of this post that will have a direct link to both our SkillBridge internships and our direct hire positions as well. And you will be able to find full position descriptions and the direct link to apply there as well. All right, so let us dive in here. That's more than enough for me. We'd love to hear about, first of all, some of the new SkillBridge internships that we have here at HireMilitary. So Brandy, please, I'd love to hear about those internships.
Definitely, Kate. So the first I'm going to go over is we have some recruiting positions. We have one, I think we've talked about them before. It's a hiring one. It's a recruiting intern assistant with Black Spoke. So this is a remote position, but you need to be in that DC area because you will be able to work from home and then travel to the locations where you need to work. You will support the hiring recruitment functions by overseeing talent acquisitions, such as application management, screening of applicants, interview coordination, among a lot of other tasks. You'll be pretty busy, I'm fairly sure. So it's an IT company. So we're looking for someone with a bachelor's in human resources, operations management, business administration, and experience with an ATS like Greenhouse or similar platform is preferred, LinkedIn, Office 365. And so this is an entry-level position with opportunity for advancement.
Great. I love to hear that. And the fact that it's, DC area, which is a great spot, but that they're offering remote in that area is wonderful too. Thanks so much. And your next role, another recruiting position. Oh, sorry. We're on to workforce consultants, I guess. Sorry.
No problem. So workforce consultant is WFI. You might have, if you back in October, I believe it was, we had a cohort that was going on. So this is a 100% remote SkillBridge internship with Workforce Insight, which is actually now part of Accenture. We don't do these often, but this is a cohort-based internship running 12 weeks, and it starts on 24 January and goes until 15 April. So that means that your SkillBridge window needs to fall within that time frame. So, and as a consultant, you'll join a team of trusted advisors helping clients install, configure, test, and successfully adopt software as a service. So you'll expand your skills in consulting, technology, Q&A process improvement, personnel, project management, more. There is no prior knowledge necessary. So we're looking for people that are tech savvy, comfortable with that technology and able to pick up new systems. You need to demonstrate the IT skills. You need to have customer service oriented, strong conversational skills, business communications, in personal relationship building. So we're looking at training, education experience, people who are instructors, recruiters, and those experienced with personnel, knowledge of experiences, business administration development. This really seems like a lot, but it's really, you have a lot of opportunities within WFI to go into different fields as a consultant. And we are looking for people with backgrounds, aspiring HR specialists, project managers, intelligence analysts. There is actually no degree required, but there is a preference for someone with a computer science, mathematics, or business degree. And like I said, this is completely 100% remote.
I love this. I love hearing about obviously 100% remote opportunities. We were just touching on some of the benefits of that earlier. And I think it's really great to see that we've had a lot of successful candidates that have currently started this internship. Like you mentioned, we advertised it in October. We have people that have already started in that cohort and are really enjoying it. So we're really excited to bring on and have more opportunities to place people with this amazing company as well. So if you are interested in this role, the solution consultant, go ahead and type that in the chats, or the recruiter internship positions that Brandy mentioned as well. Please chat recruiter internship or solution consultant internship, so we know to reach out to you directly regarding those roles and to provide more information or answer any specific questions that you have about them. Brandy, thank you so much. I love hearing about amazing SkillBridge internship opportunities for our transitioning service members. So exciting. And Amber, welcome. I'd love to hear about some new roles that you will be sharing about a new client that we just brought on at HireMilitary.
Yes, absolutely. So we are recruiting for some IT tech positions in Huntsville, Alabama. Jasmine, I see your comment there looking for 100% remote cybersecurity. Definitely check out the roles. While they aren't all remote, they are in Huntsville. So I had no idea that Huntsville, Alabama was such a fast growing tech place, you guys. I had no clue. But the roles that we're recruiting for, there's 18 in total, and they are with a progressive consulting firm. They maximize human performance and integrate transformational technology to unlock organizational excellence. Our client equips leaders and teams with high performance skills, and they're excited to increase their veteran demographic across their workforce. So we are really, really excited about this one. If you are a veteran or military spouse and you're looking to relocate to lovely Huntsville, Alabama, do apply for those roles. If you have questions also, feel free to reach out.
I had no idea either how booming, I guess that people call it like the Silicon Valley of the South. And I was actually in conversation once we posted these roles on HireMilitary, talking to a veteran that is currently working in Huntsville. And he said one of the best things about Huntsville is that you have the DC level salaries, but with the Huntsville, Alabama cost of living. And so you're able to get into these amazing opportunities with a great organization working in cyber, IT, and tech. And Huntsville, I think, has become the largest city in Alabama. So it's really a booming economy, a really great environment for families and whatnot as well. So definitely check those out. Again, these are the cyber, the IT, and the tech roles located in Huntsville, Alabama. So if you are interested in those, just type that into the chats. Or if you know someone else that might be interested that couldn't tune in today, or if you're watching this after it's recorded live, just please type cyber, IT, tech into the chats, and we will reach out to you directly with more about those roles. So now it's my turn. I am going to be sharing about a new position that we just brought on, an administrative associate role that is located in either Phoenix, Arizona or Medford, Massachusetts. And if you're not familiar with Massachusetts, Medford is just right outside of Boston. So this role is with one of the nation's largest and most experienced financial management service providers. This is an entry-level administrative role supporting the internal and external communications of the company and their customers. So think a lot of case management, processing of forms, data entry, and generating reports is what this role will entail. So they do need the candidates to come into the office possibly about once a week, but there is an option to work from home the rest of the time. So it's more of a hybrid type of role. And again, that's in Phoenix, Arizona and Medford, Massachusetts. In relation to the Medford, Massachusetts location, they are going to be moving into a Boston office in maybe February or March of next year. So if you are in that area, and Medford might be a little bit of a commute just for right now, they're going to be moving into the Boston area coming into the first quarter of the next year. So that's great for you to know as well. Again, this is the administrative associate role, and this is a really great entry-level admin role. If you're looking to try to get into financial management, this is a great way to have an entry point into a company that you could definitely grow in as well. So again, it's entry level, so no education requirements. So if you're interested in that role, again, it's called the administrative associate. You can type that into the chats, or you can look at the full position description, which is listed in a link in the description of this post as well. All right. And Lucy, this is really exciting for us to share this next opportunity that you are going to tell us a little bit more about.
I am, Kate. But before I do, I need to share, or perhaps I shouldn't, that about 3 or 4 years ago, my husband tried to convince me to buy a house in Huntsville, Alabama, because it was up and coming and we could get so much bang for our buck. And it was a huge investment. And I completely poo-pooed him and said, there is absolutely no way I'm buying a house in Huntsville. And look who's got egg on their face now, because I want to move there. I really want to move there.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's never too late, but you might have lost out if you, yeah.
I think so, if you look at the market these days. Anyway, you guys, I've got a really exciting role to share with you today. It's actually with us here at Tenova HireMilitary. And you may have heard us talk about those two brands. So HireMilitary is definitely our client-facing, our candidate-facing brand, where we place you guys with SkillBridge internships or in permanent placements. But Tenova is our government consulting part of the business, and we have a program manager vacancy that we've just advertised this morning. It's working on a very high-profile existing pilot program with the US Army, supporting their efforts to connect transitioning service members in one specific career field to all of the resources that they need to find careers post-active duty. So think about them connecting with us in our team. We will be supporting them in terms of resume writing, in terms of interview skills, and also finding positions for them to apply to. But we need a holistic and overall program manager who's really good at process development, somebody who is not just a good, but an excellent meeting facilitator, somebody who can develop agendas that can be read by both the higher education worlds, the military worlds, the corporate worlds. And we are actually looking within this, the background or the experience for this person, 3 to 5 years corporate program management experience, and somebody who has used program management software previously. If you have a PMP, amazing, but that isn't essential for the role. It's really that 3 to 5 years corporate program management experience. So if you have that and you're interested, drop a link below, drop a comment below.
Wonderful. Again, this is a program manager role with us here at HireMilitary Tenova in our company, 100% remote. You get to work with all of us and the rest of the team, which is an added bonus. So this is just really exciting. And again, just really excited to share all of these roles. Again, if you're interested in anything that we've mentioned today, the program manager role here at Tenova HireMilitary, the administrative associate role, the cyber, IT, and tech roles in Huntsville, Alabama, as well as the solution consultant SkillBridge, which is fully remote, and the other recruiter SkillBridge internships as well. If any of those roles sound at all interesting to you, please type it in the chat and we will definitely reach out to you after this with direct links, as well as all the direct links that can be found in the description and how to apply as well. So thank you so much, all of you, for sharing more insight and just more information about those roles. I see a lot of people sharing their interests and are interested. So we will definitely be reaching out to you. Thank you for that as well. So like I mentioned before, we really enjoyed being able to engage and interact with all of you last week when we shared some recruiter tips and tricks on resumes. So we are just going to keep including this in our weekly broadcast as a way for us to just offer more advice and kind of give back. And if we do have time, answer any specific questions that you have. So without further ado, I will kind of segue into our recruiter roundup here. I know, Lucy, you had talked about just a tip around formatting some things on the resume. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at the comments, Brett, yes, I did screw up completely not buying a house. I'm very aware of that. My husband's very aware of that. We talk about it on the weekly. So absolutely, Kate. I think one of the hottest things I wanted to share with our audience today was I met with one of the TAP programs last week and did a bit of a, like a fireside chat during one of their staff meetings. And something that we always share with our candidates when they are drafting their resumes is to really take a look at your professional summary and to use that section to align yourself to the position to which you're applying. Well, one detail stood out and they picked up on this and said, wow, never had thought about doing this. And they used it as a takeaway to share with their clients moving forward. And that's everybody at the very top of their professional summary positions themselves as something. And they normally look back at their career and suggest that they're a logistics manager or a program manager or an operations manager, HR manager. But what I would really challenge and encourage you to do is to reposition yourself when you are applying for roles. And instead of logistics, if it's a catering manager you're applying to, or, a training position, take out that logistics piece and position yourself actually as the job to which you're applying, and do it with credibility and integrity. You can't say that you're a financial services professional if you've only ever worked in the HR world. But often we have people who apply to us and they put that they're an operations manager, but yet the position is completely as far away as possible as it could be from an operations manager role. So, just really take the time to align yourself with the position to which you're applying. And that really can change somebody's interest, and it can make or break whether they take a look at the rest of your resume or not.
I think that's great advice. I don't remember the specific statistic it is about how long the average recruiter spends on a resume. I know that we here are exactly what's behind our application system. So the four of us read every single resume that comes through an application, but it really just does nothing but help you to stand out and grab our attention. If I see that I'm recruiting for a senior government contract manager, if that's the first thing I see, a senior government contract manager with X number of years experience, wow, you are already meeting some of these qualifications that I'm listing. So that is really great advice. And I'm glad that you shared that, and that people within kind of the transition space are, I guess, understanding and becoming enlightened that is really what recruiters are looking for. And that's a great way to position yourself as a job seeker or transitioning military. Thank you so much for that, Lucy. And Amber, I know we talked earlier this week following a couple of interviews, just about some general advice about answering interview questions. And I really loved how you kind of shared your thoughts on that. I'd love for you to share that with everyone here too.
Sure, Kate, absolutely. Lucy, also, I want to say I really, really love your advice. You share a little resume piece. Let's jump into the interview piece here. So during an interview, it's really great to have a question, to ask a question and get the actual answer back rather than kind of dancing around it. So answer the question, and remember, it's just the content of your answer is equally important as how you engage, right? So you could give that textbook answer that you have written out and that you've studied, but if you don't really develop a connection with the person on the other end, it's really hard for them to consider you for that role. So with that, I think it is also equally important that you smile a little bit during your interview. It goes a long way.
I agree. And the resume gets you in the door, the interview gets you the offer, right? Or the interview gets you follow-on interviews. So being able to connect, especially if, just connect. Of course, people want to be able to bring people into their organization that they can see themselves getting along with and interacting with on a daily basis. And so you do have to little bit of your personality shine in between, giving, a great answer, a well-formatted or structured answer to a question that actually does answer the question that the interviewer is asking. So that is really great advice as well. And thank you so much for that, Amber. Solid. And Lucy, I know that we've kind of had, we send emails out for absolutely everything here when communicating. That's the way that you communicate now. You send out emails, whether it's an invite to interview or, allowing people in our talent pipeline to apply for new roles that we are advertising as well. What's some advice that you have about just being able to keep in contact with us here at HireMilitary?
So 2 things. When you submit your application, double, triple, quadruple check your email address that you have typed in. Because a lot of times people type it wrong and we send out auto emails from our system and we get bounce backs. But just on the back of that as well, you need to take the time to be constantly, probably on a daily basis, checking your spam and your junk mail. Specifically with us, we have found that a lot of our emails, and I think it happens more often with Gmail, are falling into people's promotions folders. So they're not actually seeing them. So if we invite 4 or 5 people to interview, and I mean sort of formal interview, often on occasion, 1 or 2 I have to reach out to by telephone and say, hey, did you get my email? Because we'd love to invite you on this day, and they haven't even seen it. So just take the time, get into the rhythm of checking that on a regular basis, because you'll be shocked what you find in there.
Absolutely. And I think just as I did this when I was applying for jobs a little while ago. If you know you've applied to a company, you can always search through your inbox for that company's name, right? HireMilitary, Tenova, whoever it is that you've applied for, and the company email address of the person that maybe you're interviewing with or is replying to you should stand out. And that's a way to search through it if you can't sift through your spam folder easily, because we know a lot goes in there. And Brandy, yeah, go ahead.
So I want to say that applies for the skill bridge as well. I sent out 32 emails yesterday about WFI. So please check your spam, check your junk mail, because we do send out emails regularly as we source. So it applies not just for our direct hire, it applies for the skill bridge internships as well. So I just wanted to point that out too.
Such a great point. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. And that's part of, we ask you to join our talent pipeline. We sent out an email to all of the people in our talent pipeline, which was several hundreds last week as well. So that's the way that we can keep in touch with you. So please just double check your spam folders, check your promotions folders, make sure that the correct email is being put into your application. That'll do nothing but help you to succeed. So goodness, thank you so much. We did have one question, Lucy, real quick, that I saw, and I know this is one that's asked often, is about cover letters. Do you see cover letters still being relevant and useful in the job search process?
Yes and no. This is my take on it. This is my personal opinion. Take it for what it is, okay? If a position doesn't ask for a cover letter or a personal summary, and your resume tells the exact story about why you would be competitive and perfect for the role, I don't think there's any need for one. Going back to what you said earlier, I think the latest stat I read last week was we take 7 seconds to take a look at a resume. And I really do. I glance over it and I can see at a glance if somebody's going to be suitable or not. Now, if you are applying for a position where you think you have the soft skills, but you don't necessarily have the exact background, or you're a spouse and you've been sort of moving, back to back to back, and there is additional information you would like the recruiter or the company to know about you that doesn't sit naturally or organically in a resume, absolutely provide a cover letter. And I say this because I will be extending an invite to somebody who at first glance resume wasn't all that hot. However, the personal summary that they provided gave me a clear indication as to why they thought they would be suitable for the role. I invited to interview, and I think that this possibly is going to be the successful candidate. So really that did that person a huge favor. Now, some positions do request cover letters, and so absolutely then do provide one. And, that is something that we can talk through at a later date as well in terms of the recruiter roundup that we're going to do, Kate, because I have a great script in terms of what to cover off in each of the 6 paragraphs in a cover letter to really set your stall, to really position yourself strongly for a position.
I love that. Wow. That was a great answer. And I think obviously it depends a lot, but there are specific situations where that definitely should help you. And of course, if someone asks for one, then please do provide it. Thank you so much for that question. And I think that might be all we have time for today in terms of specific questions, but if you have others, please type those in the chats. Like Lucy mentioned, we are going to be doing that recruiter roundup LinkedIn Live that only focuses on job search tips, advice surrounding job searching. So please type those questions into the chat. We have a running tally of all these questions, and we want to be able to address those at that LinkedIn Live as well. Gosh, I really love these conversations and just hearing kind of some of the, what we interact with on a daily, weekly basis when it comes to recruiting and job searching, and how we can just help and give back to you, our HireMilitary community, and hopefully empower you to have a really successful job search and land a role, whether it's with our company or the roles that we're recruiting or with someone else. At the end of the day, we ultimately want to see all of you succeed and find meaningful careers wherever that is.
And there are loads of questions in the chat today. So just so that you're aware, we will take the time after this to go back and run through and post answers to all of them. So we will be able to do that, give you links. I think there are some questions that we can't possibly answer today, but I wanted to give a shout out to Marty Mouse for answering some of them for us. He's a great advocate of ours, Kate.
Thank you, Marty. Yes, I see that, Marty. Thank you so much. And again, I know there's a lot of specific questions on specific roles or some of the intricacies of that. We will get those answers to you in the chats. We'll reply directly to you, whether it's from one of us or the HireMilitary team. So thank you. Those questions are great. We love answering questions. So thank you for typing those in the chats. You can continue to do so here as well. And just a couple reminders. Again, if you're interested in any of the roles that we mentioned today, please just if you're watching this at a later date, you can just type those direct roles into the chats and we will reach out to you. And again, the links to all of our careers, all of our over 200 SkillBridge internships and over 70 direct hire roles are linked in the description of this post. There are full job description as well as the link to apply as well. So please check that out. Goodness. Thank you, Lucy, Amber, and Brandy for spending some time with me today, talking about these roles, sharing some tips, tricks, and advice on job searching and resumes. Really appreciate it and hope that you out there are finding value in this as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that each and every one of you has a really happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week for another Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. Bye.